Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the next update for my kind of eyeshadows that I hit pan on. Today I'm going to go through everything that I hit pan on and everything that I finished in eyeshadows in the last quarter, so in the last 3 months. I have a few things to share with you, not too many. I definitely have not really focused on hitting pan this past quarter, but I'm kind of on track with what I hit in the first quarter of the year as well, which I'm happy about. I mean, I'm definitely still hitting pans, so that's really great. So I'm just going to go through each thing in order, and I'm going to start with the thing that I hit pan on first. So the first actually 2 pans comes from my Juvia's Place Magic Mini palette. This was my level 3 palette in my product level up. The first one that I hit is Kessie up here. You can see that I hit pan on this one right there. And then the second I hit pan on is Ife down here. So those are the 2 first pans that I hit this quarter, which feels like ages ago, but I hit them very early on in the quarter, and that's why it feels like I hit them way longer ago than that. But yeah, those are the first 2 eyeshadows that I hit pan on. The next one is actually a single from Colourpop. This is the one of their press glisters in Castaway. I hit pan on this one as well. This one was in my pan as eyeshadows, I believe, and that is the 3rd eyeshadow that I hit pan on in the quarter. The press glitters are relatively easy to hit pan on and it didn't take too long, but yeah, I hit pan on this one. Next up we have my Modern Renaissance palette, which is my Panda palette for the year. The next pan that I hit is actually Red Ochre in here, which was this one here. It was the second to last pan to hit in this palette. The last one I haven't hit pan on yet, which is this one up here, but yeah, I did hit pan on this in the last quarter. We're gonna stick with Anastasia for the next 2 pans. The next one came from my Soft Glam palette, and I hit pan on the shade Glistening, which is this shade up here. This one was in my whole collection pretty pan, and you can see that I hit pan on it. I like this shade. It was relatively easy again to hit pan on because you need to build it up quite a lot because it was more of a softer kind of shimmer shade. But yeah, that is the next pan that I hit pan on, which was the 5th of the month. Moving on, we have a palette that you're gonna see a lot as well in this video, because that was my product level up level 4 palette, and that was my Subculture. The first one I hit pan on in here was the shade Adorn, which is this bronzy shade up here. The palette's really hard to see because, as you can see, the pan is completely rusted and it looks like black at the bottom, which is a bit strange because this palette is relatively new. It's like 1.5 years old in my collection, so again, not very old at all. After that, we hit pan on my Huda Beauty Gold Obsessions palette, and I had this in my whole collection pretty pan, and I hit pan on the 9th shade down here. This was again very easy to pan on because these are very shallow pans, and it didn't take very long at all. I think it only took me like 4 uses to pan on it. I did have some use on it previously though, so that definitely helped, but that was the next pan that I hit. Then we only have 3 more eyeshadow pans that I hit this quarter, and they're all in my Subculture palette again because they were my product level up palette. The first one that I hit is Roxy right here. Then after that I hit pan on Edge, which is this yellowy mustard shade right here, and then lastly I hit pan on Rowdy, which is this one right here. So that is the last one that I hit pan on. And yeah, those were actually all of the eyeshadows pan that I hit. So let me sum up how many they were in total. So that means that I hit pan on 10 eyeshadows this quarter, which is still good. It's definitely not as good as I did last year, but last year I was mainly focused on hitting pan, and this year I'm mainly focused on rotating through my palettes and my eyeshadows, so I'm happy with 10 pans. And then when it comes to eyeshadows I finished, I only had 1 finished eyeshadow in the quarter, and that is the shade Golden Ochre right here from my Panda palette. I finished this one off, and yeah, I have these 3 pans finished. Those are actually the only 3 eyeshadows that I have finished this year. I am very close to this pan right here, so that should be empty for the next quarter, and hopefully I will have maybe a few more. I think Primavera will definitely also be done. I hopefully will have maybe 2 more eyeshadows in different products also finished. So I'm thinking next quarter will be a really good one when it comes to finished eyeshadows. You know, I might even have burnt orange done. I might even have burnt orange done down here as well. So yeah, those are all the things that I finished, and I think that is going to be it for today. It's going to be a very short video because I didn't hit pan on very many things, but I'm still happy to share them with you, and I just want to keep you updated with what I hit pan on in the quarter. I think again it's going to be better next month. I think I'm going to hit pan on a few more things. I think I'm going to definitely finish up more things as well, but in general I am just kind of rotating through my eyeshadows as much as I can and trying to focus on that again rather than hitting pan. I used, you know, creating some dips, but not necessarily always you know, hyper focusing into it pan, and I am very happy with that, and I'm happy with the kind of dips that I'm getting in my collection overall. So that is it for today. If you want to know my eyeshadow usage kind of overall, I will have my next update for my kind of palette wrap up not the next video but the video after that, and in there I kind of go through how many of my eyeshadows I've used overall in my collection. I think that kind of gives a better summary of how much I've used my collection rather than the pans that I hit this year, because again that is my focus. But that is it for today. I really hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys.